Francisco. I am staying at Hotel Zoe this trip. Hotel Zoe is located in the Fishermsns Wharf area. It is consistently highly ranked as being like a great hotel in San Francisco, so I have wanted to stay here for some time. I'm only here for one night and I just got a standard room. It's cute, it's small, but it gets the job done. I'm gonna do something I never do, and I'm gonna film the room before I make a huge mess. It's actually a really nice bathroom. I'm pretty satisfied with this. Alright, happy with that. So I did just get kind of the standard deluxe queen room. I'm only here for one night and it's just me. So this should suffice. I do have to say that Hotel Zoe's lobby is very lovely. It has a nice ambiance with the fireplace going. The lights are a little dim, so I gotta hand it to him on that one. It is a little pricey. Like just tonight, my room itself was $200, plus you have basically the resort fee. I don't even know how much that is. She didn't tell me, but it's fine. And then parking. To park my car here for one night, $65. This is a downside to big hotels in the city, is you often have to pay for parking. And then the valet situation out front was really quite irritating, actually. They were leaving cars parked in places that made it so people couldn't even get into the parking lot, and I'm like, you need a system. You need a better like assembly line rotation here, because that is not efficient. And so I pulled up and I parked behind this car, and then there was this truck waiting for me to go, and I'm just like waiting, and I'm like, well, what's going on with this car? And then somebody walks by and she's like, there's no one in that car. And I was like, so what the hell am I doing here? Yeah, so fortunately I'm in walking distance to Fishermsns Wharf, because it's not a big deal when valet parks my car, but at the same time I do like to just be able to come and go as I please. I don't like to have to like go get my keys from people and then wait on them, and it's a whole thing. Oh, they gave me a $20 dining credit to Pescatore, which is their restaurant downstairs, and I actually might use that probably just for drinks or something. But I think that place actually has like a pretty decent reputation, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so I am here at Hotel Zoe. I got some way better footage of Pier 39. When I was doing it before, I was just walking at a normal pace. It was very casual in my filming. I realized I need to be a lot more intentional, so I don't just have like super shaky shots all the time. When I first started filming stuff, I had somebody who traveled with me who did all like the technology and the filming. I was just in front of the camera. Doing everything myself has been a little bit of a learning curve, but we are getting there. Practice makes perfect, and I feel like I've already grown a lot.
डबल बेड के हॉस्टल लिया था।
So I come and see the sea lions every single time I'm in San Francisco, and I have to say that is like by far the best turnout as far as like a numbers game goes. Usually there's only a few of them, but today there's a lot. I ate there once before for lunch, and I had the chicken pesto sandwich. It was very good. Somehow I have lost all footage of that, so I'm like, well, you know what? I really wanted to get their clam chowder and a bread bowl last time anyway, and it's pretty affordable. It's only like $13, and it's, you know, windy and chilly here in San Francisco tonight, so soup sounded good. And so I went in and I was like, let's give this place another go. The sourdough is kind of their specialty. It is their jam. It is what they're known for. They're the Boudin sourdough company. Sourdough bread really is like delicious, and it's baked to perfection. The clam chowder was good. I actually liked the Fog Harbor Fish House clam chowder better, but this sourdough bread was on point. The Boudin Bakery is actually the longest continuously running business in the history of San Francisco. Boudin was the family name, and they started the bakery back in 1849. 1849 was also the year that so many people came to Northern California for the gold rush. Hence terms like San Francisco 49ers. They are the original San Francisco sourdough, and I believe that they use the same recipe that they've been using the entire time. The company is no longer owned by the Boudin family, but they do carry on the same tradition with the recipe. They actually have 29 locations around the area. However, the one that I just had dinner at and had lunch at before is their flagship location. So it was the very first one. So I do have a $20 breakfast credit from Hotel Zoe for their restaurant Pescatore Trattoria. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go take advantage of breakfast. I'm gonna keep it light. I've been eating a lot on this trip, and that wasn't my plan. I also didn't want to spend a ton of money on this trip, which I have done. I had breakfast at Pescatore, which is the restaurant that's actually in Hotel Zoe. Hotel Zoe is considered Fishermsns Wharf, but it's also kind of like on the line between Fishermsns Wharf and like North Beach, which is also Little Italy. So anyway, so I ended up getting the mushroom omelet. It was good though. It came with breakfast potatoes and toast. I skipped the toast. I didn't want as many carbs as they were trying to give me. I did eat the potatoes though. The potatoes and the omelet were both really good. They were seasoned perfectly. They do offer mochas and cappuccinos and things like that. I ended up just getting normal coffee, although after I had the normal coffee, I saw the waitress making some sort of fancy coffee, and I'm like, man, I should have gotten a fancy coffee. I went to Starbucks after that though. But I didn't really talk about my motel experience in Sacramento, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and I'm gonna talk about that. So when I was trying to figure out where to stay in Sacramento, it was literally the day before. And I was on Airbnb. I always like to compare, you know, I'll look at things like Priceline just to see, but then I look at Airbnb or Vrbo, and then I always check my Alaska app because sometimes the prices vary or are comparable, and with the Alaska app I can get miles. So anyway, I ended up booking through Airbnb, and it was the Sacramento 49er motel, and the information, you know, led me to believe that, like, okay, this is not too far from the things that I want to do while I'm in Sacramento. So, you know, location is a win, and it was cheap. In the end, it was like $150 for both nights, so that's really not bad. And so I show up, and the girl at the front desk, she's like, do you have your CDL license? And I was like, no. Do I need my CDL license? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh. But then the other lady was like, oh, no, she's new. And she's like, you know, she booked through Airbnb, so we do have a reservation for her. So I guess that they must allow you to book if they're just trying to fill rooms. Anyway, obviously, long story short, it's a stop for, you know, long haul truckers. They have like shower places for the truckers to go shower. They have rooms. They're kind of like, you know, bare necessities, but they get the job done. The place does have a convenience store. You actually enter through the convenience store, you check in at the front counter of the convenience store, and then you're off to your room, which is on the second story, and there are no good views. It was a little bit annoying though. The girl at the front desk, she was nice, but she didn't even like tell me where my room was, so I wandered around like, where the heck is my room? And so I got in my car and I drove around the building and I was like, how do I get to my room? So I had to go back to the front desk, and then I was like, hey, maybe I'm stupid, but I can't find my room. And the lady's like, oh, sorry about that. So they have to send you through the back of the convenience store and down this hallway, and then there's this little stairwell that doesn't stand out at all. I actually passed the stairwell the first time, headed towards the showers where the truckers are. Anyway, the lady was like, nope, you gotta turn around, you passed the stairwell. Like, okay. So fortunately, my room was near the top of the stairwell, so that was convenient. They also have a diner. It's the 49er diner. And so they actually have a decent menu. I wasn't that hungry, but it was getting late and I just wanted to go to my room and stay there. So I just got a side of mac and cheese. It was okay. But they have like a decent menu. They have like breakfast options, like breakfast burritos, more traditional stuff. And then in the evenings, burgers, salads, you know, kind of standard diner options. But if I was a long haul trucker and I was gonna stay there, like, I would be pretty satisfied with my experience, I think. So anyway, it was, you know, not luxurious or anything, but you know, if you can find a steal of a deal on Airbnb, then why not?